Hello and welcome to this second screencast done by me, Allan Odgaard, the author of TextMate. This time I'm going to show you some in-depth customization possibilities, so it will probably be a long screencast, but bear with me. We're starting by switching to C for no particular reason, because I'm going to focus on comments and how to make that easier. First we start with this little function, and then we want to comment it. Now let's say we have this comment style, which you may have seen, and we write the current date, and we write our name, Charlie, which is not my name, but that's what we use. And here is where we actually start the comment, which is what changes each time. So this of course looked horrible inefficient, so let's look at how we can speed up that process. Let's start by copying this to the clipboard and say snippets. Snippets is pieces of text we can have inserted for us, either on a key equivalent or a tab trigger. And we can of course create our own. We start, snippets are put in different bundles, that's just for organization. So we will create our own bundle, Charlie's bundle, and in that we'll create a new snippet. So a snippet is a piece of text, so we can just do this. Of course we want a dynamic date. What we do here is we run shellcode by using backticks, and we have to format it like we want it: year, month, day, and this needs to be a plus. And we want our username, and we can simply use normal variables here. We have two options for insertion. We can either use a key equivalent, for example option C, or we can use a tab trigger. A tab trigger is a keyword you press, you type and press tab. For example, I used comment here, tab, inserts this. We can also make it much shorter. We can just use a slash. Now we can say slash tab, and this is what's inserted. You'll notice the caret is in the wrong position. We want it here. So let's go back and say $0. This is where our caret should end up after we have inserted this snippet. Let's try that, and that's correct. So that's the basic functionality of a snippet. It's just some text you insert. You can run shellcode in it. You can place the cursor. You can also have multiple tab stops, for example, like go from 1 to how many you wish, and end with 0. Let's try this one. Let's just like this. Boom, boom. Yeah, you can't see that, but I'm actually pressing tab each time. That was a little bit pointless. Let's skip this. Okay, next step for optimizing our workflow. When we type some text here, you'll notice, oops, we have to do this each time. That's also pretty boring. So what we can do is we can create a new snippet, which inserts first a new line, then star, and then puts it here. Now, which key equivalent should we select for this snippet? This is return, this is comment, so for good, so yeah. Which key equivalent should we choose? We could choose return. That's actually feels very natural here. Return, return, return. But that's a problem. It also works outside comments. And that's where the scope selector comes into the picture. Let me show you. Edit languages. This is also done in this bundle editor. This is a language grammar for C. These are all the rules which TextMate use to parse your source code, and what each rule does is it assigns a name to the thing parsed. Here we have the rule for our comment, and it assigns a name comment block C when we see this start token, and it ends with this end token. You can actually see which name TextMate has assigned to something by pressing Control Shift P, which is in this TextMate bundle. It's named Show Scope. There you have it, comment block C. Sorry. This is inside the comment. If we go outside, we can see there's nothing assigned here. Integer, that's a storage type. Return, that's a control keyword. The string, that's a double quoted string. So what's this useful for? Show all in that's useful in this scope selector, where we simply type comment block. We only need to type the suffix, the prefix of the scope we actually want to match. We can also be specific and say source C comment block. So if I press return here, I get this. If I press return here, I get the usual return. So what we have done is we have confined our snippet, which has a key equivalent of return. We have refined this to comment block in CSource actually. And this is very useful for all sorts of customizations. Now the next step, because we're not done enhancing the way we enter comments. Let's say we type some very long text here. That doesn't look very good. We would like to reflow that. TextMate actually has a reflow paragraph, reformat paragraph on Control Q, but that really makes a mess of things. So let's write a new reflow paragraph command. This is done by saying new command, reflow, and the input for this command. Let's start by taking the basics of for what a command is. We give it a key equivalent of Control Q because that's the thing we want to override, and we only want to override it inside block quotes. Okay, the actual command. This is a shell script. We can do echo test, and then we can set the output to show as a tooltip. And input, we do not want any input for this. So this means when we are inside a block comment and press Control Q, we see test. If we are outside, we reflow the paragraph as usual. Okay, that didn't do as much good. So let's instead say input is selected text or scope. Now this is a new option which was added in about TextMate in build 961, which is not available from the home page currently, but if you go to preferences, software update, check for updates, and switch this to cutting edge, you will actually get that the latest nightly build of text is currently 961. So you need that for this option. So what was that? Selected text or scope. Scope means everything matched by this scope selector surrounding our caret. So I can show you by doing the selection. This is actually what's matched by that. This we get as input. So we can cat. Cat is a shell command which takes the input and writes it to the output, which will be shown as the tooltip. So let's try this command. Now I press Control Q, and we get this tooltip shown as we get this comment shown as a tooltip. So why is that useful? That's useful because we want to reformat this comment. And I'm not going to do this in shell. I'm going to use user bin Ruby. Here I can say text equals standard in read, print text, Let's try that. That gives me exactly the same, but this time I actually have the text in a Ruby script, so it's easier to work with. Now, to refill this text, first we need to remove these characters. So let's start by removing regular expression, of course. We want to remove the first slash because then we have this one left, which makes it so that we can treat it as the other lines. We only want to do that at the beginning of the string, which is escape A, means A. Or if we're at the end of the string, we want to remove this. We remove the entire thing when we're at the end of the string because we could have something like this. So we want to cater for that scenario. And this, to say end of string, we use Control Z, escape Z, sorry, I speak half Danish here. We need to escape this, and we need to remove the white space, and we're going to substitute that with nothing. So let's see how that looks. Yes, that looks good. Sorry. You can see the slash here is gone, and the last comment character is also gone. So back to this. Now let's also remove the leading bullets. First we have begin of line, we have space or tab, some number of those, then we have the bullet, and we have this again. And we simply want to remove that. So let's see how that looks now. Okay, now we only have the text left. So we need to reformat this text. And there's actually a shell command which can do that for us. It's called FMT, Simple Text Formatter. And we'll simply use that. So how do we do that? We say text equals execute command, format, take as input text, and let's chump it, which means remove the last line, because I know from experience that FMT will give us one extra line. So let's look at this. Whoa, that looks good. That's actually our long paragraph formatted to, I think it's 72 columns. Actually, this way I'm providing, this is shell syntax, and it means that whatever string is given here should be provided as standard input for this command. And I'm quoting it with the single quotes, so I actually need to escape any single quotes in the actual text. I think this needs to be done like this. Yeah, I'm drawing on experience here. Let's try a simple example test. Let's add some new lines so we can actually see it. Yes, text comes out as it should here. So that's good. Now, after we have formatted the text, we want to re-add all the bullets. This is actually turning into a Ruby programming session, but anyway, to do that we can convert the text to an array, which means each line is an element in this array. Then we can join each line with the bullet. Let's look at how that looks. Oh, sorry. That looks good, except we do not have a comment character on the first line nor the last line, but that's pretty simple to add. Text equals first line marker plus text plus last line marker. Let's see if that did it. No, it did not, because I cannot. Like this. Okay. This is our reformatted comment. I should probably have pulled some paste from, yeah, sorry. And now we want to replace this thing with what our script generates. And that's pretty simple. Replace selected text. So go back here, press Ctrl Q, voila. Now that's really all it takes. There's one minor drawback here. It replaces the selection. That means if we do something like this and reformat it, it doesn't indent these lines. To do that, we can insert as a snippet instead, because a snippet will adapt to the current indent like that. Sorry, like that. Okay. But when we insert as a snippet, we really should escape all special snippet characters, and these are the $, the backtick, and the escape. And that should take care of that. Let's try it. We can say dates and reformat that. Oops. Oh. What am I writing here? Okay, that was I don't know. Yeah. Yes, works as it should. One little when we run it now, our caret ends after the comment. Let's say we want to have it end on the last line instead. We can do that. What we do here is we say text equals text. Let's substitute. Let's find the last new line, if there is one, and insert the caret placeholder, and then whatever new line we found. That would be this, I think. No. Substitute new line. Like that. Yes. Now it actually goes to this last position. No matter where we are, it goes to the last position, and this even works with the single line comments. Let's reformat that, and it goes to there. So that was our reflow command. So we did a snippet to insert to make it easy for us, and then we did a reflow. Now let's do a few more things. You know that this comment has this scope. This is also how we make syntax highlighting. We have a style for comments, which is italic, which is scoped as comment. Let's create a new one for block comments. This will inherit this one, but will be more specifically for block comments. Let's move this so you can see, and let's give this a background color. Yeah, let's give it something dark, and let's also give it a foreground color of white. Oh, this is lovely. And let's disable the italic. Now this is a style for block comments, where this is a style for normal for comments, which is not as specific as this one. So our regular comments will still have this old style, but block comments look like this. Let's do one more thing. I should our our comments are written by Charlie. Let's say we want to highlight that. So we go into the C language grammar here, find the comment rule, which starts with the the comment start marker ends with the comment end marker. And let's simply say, we can put new rules which will be active while it is passing comments, while it's inside a comment. Then these rules will apply. And we can take a simple match rule from here, paste it up here, and this is set to match all sorts of keywords. We will instead match Charlie, and we'll call it Meta Charlie. And we can put word boundaries so that Charlie, yeah. Let's test that. No errors. Format it. Looks good. So nothing changed. But if we put our caret on this word, we'll see that this is now marked up as a Meta Charlie comment block source C. So let's go back to our preferences, add a new rule here for Charlie, which we say Meta Charlie, and let's underline it. And now this is underlined.